Good morning. So I'm at work, but nobody's here to let me in. So just figured I'd sit in the car and talk to myself. And then I realized someone might think I'm nuts. So I decided to vlog instead. And then I realized someone might think I'm nuts. And then I realized they're probably right. So it's cool. So let's see. Lots going on in my head, I guess. Last night, Matt and I finally watched the entire Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie that vexed me so weeks ago when Crunchyroll made it skip to I think 2/3 of the way through the movie now that I've seen the whole thing. And I didn't know that it had skipped, and I was like, this is a stupid movie. It didn't make any sense. But it made a lot more sense. I liked it. So now I can move on to the rest of the TV series. What else? I watched first 3 episodes of Star Wars The Bad Batch yesterday, the 3rd season. And those were unexpectedly great. Like, I expected it to be, Star Wars, to be good. But those 3 really, really knocked it out of the park. They're really good. But, yeah, what else? Okay, so my theme this year of spiritual balance. I feel like the minute I declared that my theme for the year, the cosmos had a chuckle. And, I was like, oh, all right, spiritual balance, eh? Spiritual balance, you think that's easy? Just starts dumping rocks on my head. But I mean, I'm getting there. My bank account is at 0, literally 0 right now. It's not overdrawn. I just have no money until payday, not 1 penny. And I'm getting by on just I'm holding my car together with bubble gum and Band-Aids. Like, I can't afford duct tape. But they have Band-Aids in the first aid kit at work, so I can keep my car together with those. But more on that later. Because I can't get into. Well, I mean, I'll tell you this: the last vlog I posted, last week's vlog, which I only filmed like a couple days ago. And I showed you that bracelet that Amanda made me, the Justice bracelet. And as soon as I finished recording that vlog, that bracelet broke. It just broke, and beads went everywhere. And I'm thinking, gosh, was that a sign from the universe that there will be no justice for me? But it didn't, just because, I mean, that's just a thought, I don't really think necessarily. I mean, I'm open-minded, but I don't think the universe is trying to, things aren't all little messages, but then again, maybe they are. I don't know. I don't know how this universe works. Is it a simulation? Is it someone dreaming? Is it a god dreaming, and when he wakes up, we vanish? I don't know, because I'm just this tiny little human living on this particular floating rock in space, going around one of countless trillions of stars. I don't know how it all works. I like science. Science is good. But we don't know everything, and that's why we have science, to try and figure out what we don't know. So I can't say definitively life is anything but a dream. But anyway, that's maybe someone here to let me in. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I was thinking, is this the cosmos saying no justice for you? But you know what? Regardless of that, it did cause me to rethink how I view justice and what I actually want. And that maybe I was thinking of justice in a way that wasn't really true to my heart when I put that bracelet on. Like I was thinking more in terms of vengeance and comeuppance and me versus the person who done me dirty. And that's not me. So, more on that later. Looks like I gotta go to work. So, I'm back in my closet, and it's the next day. I was way too tired yesterday to do anything. So, let me see if I can remember what I was saying, because I haven't watched the footage. But, yeah, so I was talking about justice, right? And just kind of thinking about what my kind of justice is. And it really, I guess what it was it was starting to feel kind of like I just wanted to get back at someone, and that's not me. That doesn't work for me. I don't need that, because what does that even accomplish? Especially when probably this person can't really understand that they did something wrong. So it's like what I talked about, I don't know if it was the last vlog or 2 vlogs ago. I think it was 2 ago. I don't know. Where I was going to try to let it go. And I'm back on that path. Like, since it's weird, like the bracelet breaking actually just made me think about things. Like, oh, if this were a fictional story, if this were a metaphor. Like, that's a better way of putting it than how I was putting it yesterday, I think. Like, just kind of thinking about life in terms of symbolism. Like, what does it mean that the bracelet broke immediately? And then I start rethinking justice. And my kind of justice, like when I think of something like cosmic justice, it's like I may not get directly from the person who done me dirty, but I can take the high road and just let things play out. Like, someone who does wrong to people and doesn't know it is eventually going to learn it. Like, just the idea that the energy you put out there is the energy you get back tenfold or whatever, I like that idea. But even then, like, here's what's interesting is that yesterday, after I kind of turned this over in my head for a while and really thought about it, like, because I think of all these ways to, like, get back at or, get from this person what would be fair, ways to force it, ways to even just hurt or destroy this person, and there's so many that just pop in my head. And then I realized, and of course this is someone I love, so. But I realized how I felt when I looked at that. Like, if I were to take my anger and do something to balance the scales, so to speak, it wouldn't feel good. Like, it might for a minute, but it's not going to do anything. It's not going to... I'll wind up losing probably something more precious than what I did lose. And what I realized was when I decided that, yes, I acknowledge that I can do these things, but I choose not to, that made me feel powerful. And it's like this person, it's a recognition that this person doesn't have power over me. Like, I have the ability to actively seek retribution and succeed. I have the ability to do all manner of terrible things. But I also have the ability to take the high road and not focus on this person, not focus on this wrong that was done, but focus on me. And what happened was I didn't feel angry anymore whenever I had that realization. And I was focusing more on me. Like, without that anger in my way, I started thinking about the things that I actually want to put the energy of my thoughts into. Like, this weekend I'm planning to just go crazy getting caught up on publishing work. And I was thinking about that and all the projects I want to do this year and how I'm going to line them up. And it's just without even willing it to be so, those are the things that were coming to mind rather than anger and the things that have made me so angry. And it was really empowering. And I think, and I was like, is this spiritual balance? Like, clearly I haven't attained nirvana, but I feel like I'm very much on the right path. And speaking of spiritual balance, I think it's funny because when I chose that as the year's theme, I thought I will probably talk about this 2 more times over the course of the year. But it's like, reality was like, oh, spiritual balance, eh? Ha ha ha, you think that's going to be an easy one? So immediately it's like the universe decides, okay, you can have spiritual balance, but first we're going to really piss you off. Which is great because it's been a growth experience for me. And as of right now, it's kind of like there's still this shadow of that anger, like here and there. It's like out of habit. I'll think about the things that have made me really angry recently and what I could do. But I don't actually feel the anger anymore. All I have to do is kind of reframe, kind of think about. I just acknowledge, yes, I have the ability to do terrible things to people. And they may deserve it. They may very well deserve it, and I think they do. But I also have the power to acknowledge how little that would actually do. And how much more I have to gain from simply neutering that person metaphorically, like just kind of not feeling like they have the power to affect me. And that is, like, that anger was giving them power over me. But choosing to take the high road and acknowledging my power to do something about it, but choosing my power to let the cosmos have them, basically. It's like cosmic justice. Like, eventually, one way or another, people who do bad things, it comes back to them. And that's not what I want. And that's something else I realized. Like, what I really want is for this person to do better and to not do this to anyone else ever again. Like, to see the error of their ways and grow. And I can respect that. I can forgive that. But I'm not going to try to force that. Just like I'm not going to force retribution. But no, if it comes down to I have to do something, I know that I can. But right now I don't feel like it would do anything. And I know I'm being vague about what happened, and unfortunately I feel like the only way that I'm going to be able to give those details with a clear conscience where I don't feel like I'm smearing someone I care about is if it gets much, 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 much worse and I do have to do something that, but at that point it wouldn't be retaliation. It might be the same action, but it wouldn't be retaliation. It would be self-defense. And I'm not talking about murdering anyone. That sounded like when I say self-defense. No, I'm just saying it's protecting myself, defending myself. It's not offense, it's defense. It's not payback, it's simply protecting myself. And if it comes to that, yes, I will use my power to do what I have to do. But I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. I'm walking away from this situation is what I'm doing. And I really only want it revisited if it's this person coming to me to do the right thing. And otherwise, I'm not going to let this person hurt me. Because they can't. They don't have that power because I just don't, I feel like I can't really get into it. Like there's a lot more I want to say on that, but I have to really think about what I'm going to say. But, because, I mean, there were other epiphanies I had about myself that were, I think, very much empowering. Like how this person, like, when they get mad, say really nasty, nasty things to me, like, I mean, just vicious things, like trying to hurt me, which I don't understand why. When you care about a person, you would say something to try to hurt them, even if you're mad. Like sometimes when you're being honest with a person, things will hurt them, but that's not the same as trying to hurt them. But just basically something was said about the quality of my life or something, and I'm just comparing it to this person in my head, and like, really? But what I did was I was like, no, that's not true. I have lived a really extraordinary life, and I was just reviewing in my head, like, things I've done and experienced that I'm really proud of and that I'm really glad I've done and that I'm still doing, that I'm in the process of doing, that I do what I want to do. Like I daydream and then I look at how do I make the daydreams I like come true, and then I do them. And I look back at my life and just, with pride. I really am proud of the life I've lived and the life I'm building moving forward. So yeah, just people of this sort don't have power over me, and that has strengthened me, and like I found I was carrying myself differently physically after having that realization. Like I feel like, I can't be hurt by this person. But yeah, so, I mean, I just wanted to finish up my thoughts from yesterday. And Matt and I are getting ready to record another episode of Autodidactica. This one he's interviewing me about my life and philosophy. And in the next episode I'm doing the same to him, and so I don't know what to expect, but I get to cheat because however he tackles this topic kind of gives me an idea how to tackle it myself in the next episode. It's a two-parter called Who Even Are We? So, yeah. And I'm still, let's see. We're waiting on Chase to go over to his girl's house, and because it's Friday night, and that's usually what Chase does. And Matt's still writing interview questions, so that'll be going up soon. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Like, there's other stuff. Like, I still want to tell y'all, like, what I'm doing kind of differently with the vlog this year. But I don't want to get into that right now because I have to go get ready for Autodidactica, which I haven't mentioned in this video is the podcast that Matt and I do, where mostly we talk about hot topics kind of things, like issues of the day, and it's really fun. I love doing it. So you can check that out. We have a YouTube channel for Autodidactica. I think it's called Autodidactica. But, you know, you can find it. I mean, there's a link down in the description below to the podcast and everything else, like my author website. Oh, and yeah, the new short story, Metronomes. Why can't Metronomes Deathmatch? Okay, so it might have been 3. I don't know. I've done a lot of vlogs. I haven't edited any of them. So I don't know how many episodes ago I was sitting on my bed talking about the thing that happened to me that I couldn't give details on. But yeah, this will hopefully be the last I have to talk about that for a while, but who knows. I didn't think I was going to talk about spiritual balance more than a couple of times, but it's been a very real and present theme since I chose it so far this year. I mean, it's only February. But yeah, we'll see. Like, spiritual balance is hard. But it's worth the struggle, I think. Because so far, I mean, again, it's only February. And I feel like a different person right now. Like, yesterday I even noticed, like, my voice sounded different to me. Like, just coming out of my ears. Everything about me felt stronger. But I'm just going to keep talking in circles. I'm going to keep talking like, you're visiting me in a nursing home. And I'm just going to talk in circles, so... because I'm trying not to go further, and I keep coming back to things, and now I'm even explaining that, so it's time for me to go. But anyway, I'll be back with another vlog next week. So until then, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to y'all later.